Good morning. Wow. Good morning. Okay. Good morning, Bangalore.
No, good
Oh,
after.
because I'm addressing it wrong, you're not responding. Good afternoon.
Good
Oh
afternoon.
my goodness. How sharp and how smart you are. Okay. So I'm sure most of you are here for definite reasons, right? Definitely networking is one. That's the outside intent. But then there is always a darker intent. What could that be? How do I connect with my potential customers? How do I connect with potential vendors? Is there a possibility I get a chance to meet a VC, an angel, or somebody who can propel your business, right? Oh, by the way, I do mind reading. Just kidding. The reason why I brought this particular topic is I'm sure most of us really wanted to do exceedingly well in life. How many of you want to do really well in life?
Everyone.
Others? No, you don't want to do well in life? ఏమిరా బాలరాజు ఏమి ఉపయోగము right? Well, I'm sure we are being brought up in a context that study well, get a good job, do well, and you will succeed in life. Correct? Yeah? I'm sure most of you have studied. Of course, all of us have studied, and then we are here. But then, can a job really make us really rich? Can a mere employment make us really dream big? In some cases, probably yes. Maybe the likes of Nadilla and Pichai, definitely. But will India continue to be, or will India emerge as a developed nation just with the workforce, or will it need more entrepreneurs to create wealth? Can you answer me? Do you think India needs more entrepreneurs to create wealth?
Of course.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, now I need to teach you some engineering principles. This is something that I love, the law of conservation of energy. What does it say? Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but transforms from one to another. If I were to remain energetic here in the next probably 10 minutes, I'm looking at you to transfer that energy to me. Yeah? So let me talk about mafias. So in 1980s, there was a mafia. Okay? Some of the players of that mafia or some of the gangsters of the mafia are the likes of Infosys, the likes of Wipro, the likes of Mindtree. When the world was really growing ahead with the adoption of IT, computers, until the early 90s and early 2000s where the dot-com bubble came up. The world was looking for hands to cope up with such rise in the demand, and these gangsters rose up to that occasion. Until then, India was nowhere to be seen on the global canvas, but since then, when it comes to IT and technology and product and service, there is no one to beat us. Do you agree? Yes? Let's move 20 years forward from then, probably early 2000s. There came another mafia. Do you want to know who are the gangsters of this mafia? They are the likes of Flipkarts, Big Baskets, Grofers, Zomatos, Swiggies. When I was exhibiting a computer during my science fair in my school, I was rehearsing whatever my teacher has given me as a script, and then it says that through this computer you will be able to get things at your doorstep. For a smaller brain that I had, I was thinking maybe the monitor, which is as big as a huge TV, I was thinking that maybe it has some manufacturing unit inside that when I ask for chocolate, it manufactures that chocolate and then protrudes out of the screen. Haven't you had such crazy hallucinations? Yes, great. I see some nodding head there. Now, why is it that I'm talking about all of these? Is because when this mafia came into picture, with one among every 5 human beings that is living on the earth coming from India, and then the internet penetrated to the deepest parts of the country like nowhere else in the world, the balances are being shifted when it comes to e-commerce? Well, some of you might say, oh man, I missed the IT revolution, I missed the e-commerce revolution. Can there be any other revolution? Can there be any other timing where I can test my guts, my strength, my talents, and can be called as one of the gangsters of the EV mafia? Well, the time is now. With this, welcome to this talk, Can India Become the Powerhouse of EV Talent and EV Ecosystem to the World, by Rajeev YSR. Now, is EV really a problem? I mean, is that really the problem, or is it just a hoax? Or just a build-up being created? Well, if at all you have some doubts, or if you have certain thoughts like that, let me draw you a small narration. We are talking about the doomsday, the end, the catastrophic effects. The Earth's global average temperature, which is basically measuring Earth's temperature every day throughout the year and taking an average of it. Since the time it is being measured from early 1900s to now, the Earth's global average temperature has increased by 1 degree centigrade. And if we do not act now, by 2100 it would be plus 2 degrees centigrade. Big deal! 1 degree, 2 degrees are just numbers. Look at Bangalore climate now. Supposed to be the sweet hub for a very cool weather, but I am unable to survive in this blazer and tie. By 2100, the plus 2 degree is going to be an irreversible phenomenon where the environment is going to lose its elasticity, and whatsoever you do, you cannot give the same planet that you and I enjoyed to the next generation. Does it scare you? If you are thinking that's it, let me tell you, by 2100, close to 50% of world's population will be inundated underwater. Now it must scare you. Okay, that is great. But what is transportation to do with this? Well, afforestation, transitioning to green energy, etc., are definitely measures that give us long-term results. But if you were to look at the short-term quick relief, it is the transport mobility, because it contributes to 30% of population. And when we shift that base from conventional based fuels towards green mobility or electric mobility or hydrogen fuel cell, call whatever it is, you are going to have a very, very quick and immediate impact. But then what is the biggest threat? History repeats. History repeats. The same thing that happened in the 80s, when the whole world was transitioning in the IT revolution and is looking for hands to work upon it, is repeating now. The biggest threat or the biggest opportunity right now is non-availability of skilled talent. India being the most populous country, let us see what we have got in store. Now let us also look at the Indian auto industry, right? Our Indian auto industry is the third largest in the world, employs 19 million people, going through a very swift EV transition. My colleague, Mr. Venkat Rajaraman mentioned, right? Earlier, if at all there is something wrong with your vehicle, all you need is a wrench and a hammer and boom. You don't know where he hits and then it works. No more the case. You saw his presentation, right? A screwdriver being pieced into battery pack and boom. You need a different skill set. And what is that skill set? And what is the quantum of the skill set? We are talking about 10 million direct jobs and 50 million indirect jobs to be supporting just for the Indian EV transition. Forget about the world. And what is our infrastructure now? We graduate around 1.5 million engineers per year, of which 1.499, whatsoever their branches, they learn C, C++, Java, Python, and then just become a developer or a tester. Well, if I were to add the ITA and then the diploma, probably the number can go up to 2 million engineers. But our requirement is 5-fold. And unlike the regular engineering, where we have civil, mechanical, electrical, electronics, computer science, we don't have a structured engineering for EV, unfortunately, because EV is a khichdi. It's a khichdi of chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical, electronics, and now with AI ML coming into prediction of batteries and their life, and with EVs becoming autonomous without any intervention of humans, oh man, there can never be a complex and an exciting technology than this. Do you agree with me? Yes or no?
Yes.
Your faces are bright. Yes. Which means there are two things, that you are just in awe and you are enjoying it, or you are just in awe and not able to comprehend what's happening. I assume it is the first one. Okay. Now, for such kind of a mass transition, so it is not a BS4 to BS6 transition, unfortunately. You need definite new skill sets, you need definite new, I would say, tools, technologies, and then the mind to operate. And then, of course, we have online platforms, but they cannot bring you the hands-on learning that is required. And just to look at the data, over the last 2 years, the EV intake or the EV staffing has grown by 108%. And after all, if you are thinking that this is just an Indian problem, well, look at this. The entire EV industry of the world is expected to be around $200 billion right now. Okay, that's the market valuation. Close to $175 billion is being pumped by Joe Biden into this US economy. But you know what is the biggest challenge there? Not enough workers. Not just in US, but in Europe. Not just in Europe, but in Japan. Japan is now encouraging their teenagers to come and build batteries for them. This is in addition to the immense demand for the talent pool that we have in India, where we are expecting. Our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji mentioned that by 2070, India would become a net zero emission country, and that cannot happen without the entire mobility being transitioned from a fossil-based mobility to a green mobility. So what does this all mean? This all means that we need a new army of talent, a new army of engineers across the value chain, be it the blue collar, be it the white collar, or be it the CXOs, who can understand, who can internalize, who can comprehend, and who can adopt, and who can lead. So with this, well, let me not talk about what it is. Do you think the problem is big enough for us to consider solving it? Yes or no? Yes, I see one of my colleagues saying yes. I need some yes from the yes, yes, yes. Okay, now these are good enough affirmations for me to proceed forward. Now, do you think just the government, just the academia, and just the industry can solve this independently? Absolutely no. You need a beautiful synergy, and you need a very, very coordinated efforts between the government, between the industry, and the academia. We just don't need numbers in terms of engineering graduates, we need skill. No wonder when Mr. Narayan Murthy mentioned that Indian youth needs to work 70 hours per week. Well, his intent was not that we work as laborers, but his intent is that we are not effective in our output. Why? Because we are not rightly skilled. I was talking to one of my friends, right, who is working for a two-wheeler company which is known to be having a highest churn rate in their leadership. And he was telling me the problem was not with the culture, the problem is because the youngsters who get into the company are clueless about technology, and they really do not want to put that extra effort to learn and deliver, and hence they get frustrated and leave. So we need coordinated efforts, and that is where, having worked with companies such as Gati Logistics, leading the EV business for Gati, the first operations in IKEA in India was set up by us. This work was recognized by the World Economic Forum, and Gati played a very significant role in the policy formation of FAME 2.0. We are part of the policy drafting committee. Introduced last mile mobility in the country for companies such as Amazon, Big Basket, Flipkart, Grofers, etc. And throughout the journey, what I've noticed is this talent pool still remains as an issue. And that's where, apart from advising the government of Andhra Pradesh and building the policies for them, I have taken this as my personal call to bring this coordinated effort between the industry, between the government, and between the education institutions, so that we prepare the army which can thrive. Because if at all India has an opportunity to tilt the balance once again from an oil fuel-based economy to a technology and battery and green mobility economy, India is the only country that has got the volumes that can very strongly compete with our neighbor. No other European countries, despite their penetration of EVs being very high, the absolute volumes in terms of cars running on the road are very low. Imagine if the similar penetration percentage of 40% that we see in Norway comes to pass in India. India would become the global hub for EV market, at the same time a global manufacturing hub. Do you believe it? And that needs, the beauty with EV is it is not yet fully mature. So if you think, whenever I am buying an EV, is the lithium-ion battery completely safe, went through all the quality? Well, in the given context and given conditions, yes, but still it is maturing. And thus, what does it mean? There are enough number of unsolved problems, and these unsolved problems call for young entrepreneurs, innovators, and troubleshooters to enter into this industry and solve those problems, not just being a skilled talent for the employment. So, how are we doing it? We have partnered with IIT Madras, my alma mater. When I went and expressed this concern that India has a great opportunity which we do not want to miss, would you like to join? They said, hey, what do you need? Let's do whatever it takes. And then T-Hub, I'm sure you heard of it, the world's largest incubator based out of Hyderabad. When I went to them and said, hey, you know what, we need more EV startups to solve problems, they said, let's do it. And be it the Automotive Sector Development Council, be it the companies, whosoever it is, everybody said yes. So how are we solving this problem? I think the PDF was converted to PPT, and hence these are spelling mistakes, otherwise those are not mine. Okay? So we are setting up centers of excellence, again in collaboration with these three, the government, the industry, and the education institutions. And if you think our centers of excellence are just like labs, let me tell you, these are 10,000 square feet facility, almost like EV factories. The way these are designed is within those 12 stations, one starts from a battery cell. By the time somebody comes to the 12th station, he completes the battery pack, fits it onto the vehicle, and can drive the vehicle. In fact, we are visualizing that this center of excellence becomes a nano production unit for vehicles, right? And interestingly, you know whom are we encouraging? Because EVs is no longer that masculine, I would say, servicing thing where you need power, you need smartness, you need skills. We will have more women leading this after sales in the EV industry. Obviously, one of the largest EV OEMs made a commitment that the entire automated factory of them would be run by women, right? So these are all the partners. And whatever we have done so far, we have impacted 1,000+ graduates. Of course, some of them opted for placements. We are ranked well by all the stakeholders, industry visits. We have 20+ industry partners. 2 of the partners are here, Amitabh and Venkat. They have been working with me for the last 2 years in this mission silently, apart from their regular task or regular call. Yeah, so somebody said they are from Kinetic. So we have Sulajja Firodia Motwani also working very closely with us. These are videos for some other time, but not now. And today I was very shocked to wake up and then see a news. I'm not sure if you have seen that news. In the last 2 years, the number of illegal, I would say, infiltrates the US and in Canada has increased by 3 times. Well, let me tell you, we don't need to do that. All we need to do is possess some skills. And EV has got a great opportunity for anybody to pave their international career dreams. We have one of our offices opened in Dallas, Texas, and we are working with Texas A&M University to offer a diploma program, not just for the Indians, but also for the US citizens, because even there, the talent crisis is real. So, how are we doing it? We are building in India to the world. Right now we're in India. We have started in US. In December, we are launching our operations in Dubai. And very soon, we wanted to go to Southeast Asian markets. We want to go to Vietnam, we want to go to Thailand, we want to go to China, we want to go to Europe, we want to go to Africa, we want to go to Japan. We are working with organizations such as JETRO, because India produces, generally sends majority nurses to Japan. Now it is time that India starts sending the EV talent pool. Somebody said they are from NIRB. I really encourage organizations like that to come forward and then collaborate, and in the process, in the process. Make India the real hub, the real epic center, and then the real engine that drives this sustainable revolution of the entire world. There is a reason when the G20 Sherpa group said, Vasudhaiva Kutumbam. Well, the world is one, and India definitely is going to be playing a leading role in leading this world towards a sustainable and progressive growth. With this is Rajeev YSR signing off for today. Thank you very much for your unblinking attention and undivided attention. I thoroughly enjoyed spending time, and I hope, apart from delivering and sensitizing, I was able to inspire some of you. Number one, to take up the less path travel called entrepreneurship. Number two, equip yourself rightly with the right skills and be the beacons of the EV industry. Thank you very much. Thank you EV Expo for this wonderful opportunity, and thank you all the friends for being present here.